All right, you guys, we are back. We are back. Hopefully, well, prayerfully, we have a great connection now. So that we can let's just start from the beginning. Hi, this is Talk Therapy. Tonight we're talking about blurred lines. This is our series we've been talking about. I'm Tara Stallings.
And I'm Melody Manning.
So let's just get into it, Melody. We have a really hot topic tonight. Guys, if you're just coming on, make sure that you share, because this is going to be a topic, and ask questions. We tonight we're going to ask questions. I thought I did anyway. Let me see if I can go back to it. I have my tablet up, so that if you ask a question, I can address it. So,
And look, I got my notebooks out.
okay. So, we our talk show. This is our talk show, Talk Therapy, Sister Let's Talk. We are real, raw, and relevant, and we talk about relevant issues, conversations, and we don't sugarcoat them. That's why it's real, it's raw, and it's relevant to today's issues, to our community, to our economic system, to our religious system, to our beliefs, and just to us. So tonight, we thought, since we have this stimulus checks, COVID-19, and they have opened up the state of Georgia to us, that this would be a great topic to touch on, because it's real sensitive, and we have a lot of people on both sides of the fence and some in just the middle. So go ahead, Melody.
Okay. Well, actually, we were going to talk about finances before they actually, opened up the state of Georgia on yesterday. The governor did that, but then we found that it was really a necessity that we talk about it. And I just want to give a disclaimer before we before we start. These are just our views,
Yes,
our personal opinions. We are going to be sharing some things with you all, but my only thing is just be prayerful in anything that you do, and use wisdom also when you're making decisions as to how you're going to handle things with the state of Georgia opening back up. But what sparked our conversation about everything as far as finances, and I think we got on the subject of it, is once I saw the video of the people outside of the tax office last week. To me, it was a little disturbing.
Yeah, quite disturbing, quite disturbing.
And again, this is my personal opinion, but I understand where they're coming from, wanting to know where their monies are, how it's going to be handled as far as getting the monies. I do truly understand that. But then it also brought the question of, how are we handling finances? What is our responsibility when it comes to our finances? We haven't seen this type of thing before. And have we changed our relationship with money? How are we going to move forward with a new way of life? I'm going to say that, a new normal. How are we going to move forward with it? And then on yesterday, Governor Kemp announced that they are going to open back up the state of Georgia. Now, let me give you my personal view on it. I agree with some aspects of it, because I know we have people that are out of work, have lost a great deal of money, still losing money, are actually in an emergency recovery state, especially businesses, small businesses. So I understand the need to get back to work, because with being out of work is issues. And then a lot of our small business owners, believe it or not, don't have proper health care. So even if they were to get sick or whatnot, then that's a whole nother issue. If someone in the family is to die from this, a lot of people don't have proper life insurance to bury their loved ones. during this time. So it's a lot of things that we need to discuss as far as our responsibility on this. Now, one of the main things that everybody's talking about is the salons and the nail salon, massage parlors, tattoo parlors opening back up.
Yes.
I understand them opening back up. I really, truly do. As long as it's done wisely. And I have to say, most of the people, the ones that I know, that I follow on Facebook, they are posting their guidelines for them reopening, and they are using wisdom, and they're using certain steps and taking precautions as far as reopening. My concern are those that are not going to be taking precaution, because you got to remember, this is a recovery time.
Yes.
For a lot of hairstylists and nail techs and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be some salons where it's going to really be some people in there. That's my concern about everything, are those that are not going to be taking proper precautions. Then my biggest concern is not even the hair, the beauty industry, is restaurants. Now that one kind of really, that's what, really threw me. Everybody talking about the salons and stuff, but the restaurants is what really caused an alarm to me. Now I like to eat good. I like to go out and eat. I'm cooking more at home now because I don't have a choice. But I'm usually every other day I'm at somebody's restaurant eating something. But to me, the restaurants bring the biggest concern, because let's be honest, we do like to eat. And now some of us have that extra money in our pockets because some of us have received stimulus payments. So guess what we're going to be doing when those restaurants open?
Hitting those restaurants. Gonna be packing them out. Yes, they're gonna pack those Well, with the shut-in, the restaurants, the drive-throughs, the lines are so backed up now. So can you imagine when they open the doors? And I think Columbia County has only been closed, 2-3 weeks, and they were still packed doing regular business. So there are some concerns. There are a lot of concerns. And let's go back, Melody, to the stimulus. Let's start there, because you and I had a hot conversation and about that stimulus money that the government gave out. And I have my, everyone has their thoughts, their opinions, or whatever. I think, we have that stimulus money, but the government gave out a whole lot of money. What's backing that money? What's backing that money? I am, and I don't mind saying it, I am a conspiracist. I'm gonna say it, I am, because I do a lot of research on some things, and I am a conspiracist, and I'm gonna say yes to it. So I'm gonna say yes to it, but so where the government's giving out all this money, where's the goal to back it? Where's the goal to back that money? That's my first issue. And I say that with the onset of Bill Gates pushing this, this chip with not just the vaccine, but also with all our data and with all our data and using it electronically. So, all of that plays a part, but we're not gonna get into that tonight. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that because that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
That's a whole nother show.
Whole nother rabbit hole. But I would say this, and you brought that to my attention, that Walmart, when the stimulus checks began to deposit in people's accounts, that they went and stocked up on televisions like it was Christmas. Now, we know that was a target for the African American community. We know that it may be some other people that may go, and get a couple of TVs, but we have a thing of who has the biggest TV, how many TVs you have. You know, we have this look that we're looking for. So a lot of people bought Walmart because they've been open, they have been deemed essential. How is TVs essential? People don't need TVs. You need groceries, you need cleaning supplies, you need medicine. Everything else should have been blocked off.
True.
But because the stimulus checks came out, they went and brought up, because we as a culture, and you said, we have to change our mindset about money.
Yeah.
We as a culture, we get extra money. The first thing we should be thinking about is either one, saving it, or two, investing it. But more so than often, the first thing we think about is, oh, what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy me a new TV. I'm going to buy me a Louis. I'm going to buy me a Gucci. I'm going to buy me some Malaysian hair. That's the first thing we think about. Or I'm going to get me some Jordans or some Giuseppe's or something. But they're going to spend that money on that's frivolous. And then, but yet you're getting a subsidized assistance for food, and you don't have life insurance. You can't bury somebody if they die. If you die, you got to get a GoFundMe if something happens.
True.
So we need to talk about that in this economy, because my fear is this. This pandemic occurred, and I'm gonna use that word occurred. What's gonna happen when something worse shows up? Now, I had a conversation with a person, and they said this to me. They said, well, we hadn't had, the last time we had something like this was 100 years ago. That was in 1918, 1919, when the Spanish flu arrived. He said, they said that was 100 years ago. Yeah, that was 100 years ago. Things were different then. But we're in a time now, and the Spanish flu wasn't worldwide. It was in America. This is worldwide, and we are more tech savvy today than we've ever been. Your phone went out. Yeah. Than we ever been. So what's going to happen when we have another plague or another pestilence happens? Are we going to be prepared for it? What if we're out of work for 6 months to a year? Are we going to depend on the government to take care of us? Because in all of my business, I'm self-employed. And had it not been for cushions and the grace of God, when this happened, I would have been up the creek, because the government said, well, we're going to give self-employment people money. People that usually don't get benefits, we're going to give you those benefits. Ask me if we got those benefits yet. Ask me if we got those benefits yet. You understand? We hadn't got those benefits yet. Matter of fact, I think the application is still pending. They stayed a couple of more weeks, and they've opened the state back up. So let's talk about these things, Miller. These are things that concern, and I don't want to make this about black or white, but as a people, as a nation, we have to think differently. You said it, how we think about money. Go ahead.
The relationship that we have with money. And, I'm going to be honest, a lot of things growing up, I wasn't taught at an early age about finances. Now, my father did, once I got older, and when I first got married, he then started, hey, sit down, let's talk about finances. This is what you need to do. You don't need to do this. When you prepare, make sure you get somewhere that one income could cover. In case something ever happens to one of you all, the other will still be able to maintain, the bills or whatnot. So he began to talk to me about those things when I got married. But before I got married, I was in college. I did have my daughter, but you know, there was credit cards and stuff coming from every which way, because you know, back then they didn't look, if you was in college and at Augusta State, all you did was sign a piece of paper. I don't even think they asked to see our driver's license or anything, and you had credit cards. And
Yeah.
believe me, I had credit cards. One, I like to dress, I like to shop, so I had credit cards everywhere. But we didn't have those discussions, and I really think and I'm gonna speak to the African American community. We need to start educating ourselves and our children, and it's never too late to do that educating, because I think often some of the things that happen, and I could be wrong, but this is my thought from what I saw and heard from the video at the tax office. If we had proper bank accounts, we would not have to be concerned with our monies going somewhere else to be deposited into an account. Then there may be some people who are not.
Talk about, I don't want you to go too fast. Talk about that proper bank account, because, you know, I had to ask the question, you know, what do you mean when you say a proper bank account and going to versus going to the tax office or whoever prepares your tax? Elaborate on that a little bit.
When I think about it, I mean a real actual checking account. And so many people have the net spend accounts and whatnot, which I'm not saying those are bad, because you can do your direct deposit or your paychecks and stuff in it. But sometimes you need to have a real bank account with real checks, a brick and mortar in different states or whatnot that you can walk into. Some people may not be able to get a checking account, maybe because of something that happened in the past. Some banks do go by your credit score as far as checking accounts and savings accounts and the ability to open them. So what I did do some research on banks that offer second chance checking accounts, because I believe we all should have checking accounts. Because believe it or not, there are some 30, 40, 50-year-olds that don't have an actual checking account anywhere. And I got a list. SunTrust offers a second chance checking account. See, I got to look at my notes, y'all, because I did research. SunTrust, Wells Fargo, they offer a second chance checking account. So those who are typically not able to open up a checking account at a bank, those are two brick and mortars that are usually common, found in two different places. They offer second chance checking accounts. And if for some reason you can't even get a second chance checking account, you need to be working on why you can't get a second chance checking account, so you can get a checking account. Another one, which is really, really good, they don't have a brick and mortar here, but Capital One. Capital One is really, and Navy Federal, both of those, well, Navy Federal has a brick and mortar here local, but Capital One is really good. They've got the 360, and no, they're not paying me, y'all, but Capital One has the 360 checking and savings account. They are good. They are also really good with helping you rebuild your credit as well. These are the type of things we've got to work with. And it's sad to say we need to start back at the basics with some things, because this pandemic should be a learning process as well. Yes. Because what if we're faced with something else again? Well, we're not even completely out of this one. But you know, what if we're faced with something else in another 6 months or another year or whatnot? I really think we need to be able and responsible enough to go in it totally different. We should learn some lessons from this. So my thing is, get a checking account. I'm not totally knocking your net spends, your green dots, and all of that, but as we need checking accounts.
And I would also say this: we need checking accounts, and we need to stop relying on the government to bail us out. True. And I'm talking to myself also. I am talking to myself also, because you know, when I was growing up, just like you know, my parents told me, hey, when I was married, live off one income. Most people don't live off one income. They live off one income when they get enough debt, trying to get out of debt, and then they try to rebuild. But then the next thing that they told me was to pay yourself first, meaning you pay yourself first. That means put you some money aside that you're not going to touch, besides a savings.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was growing up, they said you should always have about 6 months of money saved, so that when something happens, you're able to sustain during that time. Well, I say this, with this pandemic that occurred, I would say that you need at least 12 months of funds, necessities already stored up in your house, so that you don't have to run out and get toilet tissue. You don't have to run out and get paper towels. You have necessities. So if you are quarantined in your house, if we have martial law and they say, hey, you cannot leave your house, you can live. You can live in your house, food-wise, material-wise. We have sheds full of junk. We got rooms and clothes and closets full of stuff, but we don't have the things that when life happens, we can go to. And I'm talking to myself also, that we have necessities that we don't have to go out and depend on. Because I know depend on the stores or bombarding the stores to get certain things.
And it's good that you say that, because the sad part of it is right now, because I've been going to the grocery store, and you know me, I really don't do the pork. I really don't do the beef. I'm almost forced to eat beef and pork because the stuff that I eat is not in the store. And even the beef and pork are scarce in the stores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have to really retrain ourselves. I saw those memes on there when people come out of the quarantine, they went in one size and they came out 4 sizes larger. Because, they're thinking about food, where we really have to retrain our mind, because what if, and like you said, we're not out yet. We're not out yet. What if something else happens? Because remember, just a week or so ago, we had tornadoes. We have people that's being quarantined, one tragedy, and people that lost their entire homes, second tragedy. So what if we have a plethora of things that happen simultaneously within the United States or within our community? How are we going to survive? How are we going to survive? And I think we depend on others to step up too much, instead of coming together collectively. Because no, one person cannot have a year's worth of toilet tissue in their house. No, you cannot. That's just not reasonable. But you can bring your monies together, a group of people, and say, hey, we're going to buy such and such. You got a shed there. We're going to have this here. That things will last. You know what I'm saying? So that you can depend, and not even to say nothing happens. But you have enough that you don't have to go running to the store. Every week you have enough. We all have to learn how to do things differently in this life, because we don't know what's coming. And I would say this, we better start storing up some stuff.
Yeah.
Because what if a famine hits?
Yeah.
We don't talk about this stuff, but what if famine hits? Well, what about when famine hits? What about when? Not what if. What about when famine hits? Are we going to be prepared for it? We've never seen anything like this COVID-19, this pandemic. Never. But what if it's some things that's coming that makes COVID-19 looks like a slap on the wrist? Are we going to be prepared? And I myself, and I asked myself that question because I am a part of the beauty and barber industry. And they shut that part of my business down. and they just reopened it. And everybody got, their sayings or whatever. Some people have money, yeah. Some people have Roth IRAs, but that's for their retirement. People don't want to go dip into their Roth IRA to pay their bills, because then when they get ready to retire, there's no money there. You see what I'm saying? That's for retirement. So you don't have to dip in it. You don't want to dip into that. So, and I saw so many people, and I talked to so many barbers and beauty cosmetologists and nail techs. One, they don't pay taxes, so you can't get a stimulus check. Two, you can't file for unemployment. You don't even pay taxes. We need to reevaluate. Pay taxes. Pay into your taxes. Pay yourself. And it's coming, but I got something. I'm going to be advertising in the next few weeks for the beauty and barber business, because, and not just for the beauty and barber business, but for self-employed people. There is nothing for disaster that if something happens like this, that's monies or funds available for them to live off of, or to help, because you can't live off $600 a week, honey. You cannot. Not if you got real bills. You cannot. You cannot, not unless you're living with your mom and your daddy. So, and that's what they just gave, because I think it was $300 and some dollars. So, for those people that are caterers and DJs, and those people that are and those mom and pops, they can't, unless they're paying into it, you can't get money. So I got a strategy. I got something coming for that. I got something coming, so that to solve that problem.
And I'm glad. Let me interject on this, because now you talk to a lot of those in the beauty industry. I've spoken with a lot of just business owners, and the sad part of it is a lot of people that are in business, their business is not legalized. So with their business not,
say that again, please.
Their business is not legalized.
Mm-hmm.
So they're operating, they're generating a source of income from their business, but they don't have it legalized. The importance of having it legalized is so you can apply for these different loans that's going to help you during this time. I know quite a few people who can't even apply for loans that have businesses that's bringing in substantial income, but because their business is not legalized, they're not paying taxes. They don't even have a business license. They don't have a business checking account, because that's the first thing the banks and stuff want to see is, okay, we need to see proof that you're actually operating as a business. Mm-hmm. They can't apply for these loans and whatnot. I hope y'all understand what we're saying. It's time that we do better. It's time to invest the money. If you're going to use this as a source of income, do it the proper way. Yes. And I'm sorry, I'm going to make it a black and white thing. So many of our Caucasian counterparts are able to get that money simply, and they may not be generating the income that you're generating. But guess what they did? They legalized their business.
Say that.
So what we need to do, because our dollar is very, very important to the economy, we need to legalize our businesses. Get your business license. Get your business checking account. If you're paying folks, pay them right. You can't pay everybody under the table or whatnot. You need to be able to have reportable income.
Say that. Reportable income, yes.
Reportable income. So in times like this, whatever the government may be offering, you will at least have a fight in it, because you've done your steps. Because, and again, I'm going to go a little further. If you don't ever pay taxes on your business and stuff, what you going to get when you retire?
Nothing.
Or better yet, if you happen to pass, what are your children going to get? What is your spouse going to collect?
Nothing.
And I mean, it's worth paying it rather than to have something that holds no value.
Mm-hmm.
Because if something happens to you, more than likely, your children or your spouse can't take those TVs and sell them and live off of them. No. They can't take tennis shoes and sell them and live off of it. They may get a little bit of temporary money off it, enough to go to the grocery store, maybe put a little gas in the car. But we're talking about monthly bills and debts that they may incur because you're not there. And that income makes, that missing income makes a difference in a household.
Okay, someone asked, how do you get a business license? You simply go downtown to the municipal building, fill out the application, apply for a business license. You would need to, you don't need to have a checking account to apply, but whatever type of business, if it's a brick and mortar, or if you have a business at home, whatever it is, you just go down there, you fill out the application, apply. I think it's $100. Maybe
somewhere
depending on what type of business it is, it's $100.
And what time of year you go.
And what time of year you go. But yeah, that's all you need. It's real simple to get a business license. Real simple. And Melanie said this, you need a business checking account. If you're not going to have an EIN number, you need a separate business account. If it's Junebug shoe business, Junebug shoe business needs its own checking account. It needs a business license, and Junebug, whatever Junebug real name, he needs his own personal account and get paid out of the business account. So Junebug needs to take a check, needs to get payment, needs to be an employee of his business. Mm-hmm. So that when you file taxes, you have a business and your business writes you a check because this is your business and this is your salary. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And then you live off of that. The business have so much money, whatever it is, and then you get paid off of that, weekly, monthly, or however, and you live off of that and pay taxes on your business. Take taxes out. You can either take taxes out at the end of the year or you can take it out every quarter. Me, I take it out every quarter because I don't like paying. I just don't like it. And it always come back and eat me up at the end of the year. It come back and eat me up. It come back and eat me up, but I pay them at the end of the year. Not all the time. My tax lady, she passed. I had a good tax lady, but yeah. So that's how. And it says, wait a minute now. No, you don't have to have articles of incorporation to get a business license. Mm-hmm. No, you don't. Someone said that you don't have to have articles of incorporation to get a business license. That's something totally different. You just have to go down there and apply. Mm-hmm. You have to apply
and pay your money. That's it.
You don't have to have articles of incorporation because you don't have to have an LLC. You don't have to have all of that to get a business license. Now you may need that later on, but you don't have to have that just to get a business license. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. It says depends on where you live in Georgia. You can get it from the county you live. Yeah. Oh, that was the same person, I think. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, but yeah, you don't have to have a business. You don't have to have articles of incorporation to have a business. Like you have to prove that you have a business. If you. Okay, let me just say this. I have applications. I own a hair salon. I have independent contractors in my salon. Independent contractors that rent spaces, that have their own independent business. Mm-hmm. Only thing they had to do, fill out that application. Fill out the application, you got your own separate business license. Show you, hey, you got a license to, they're licensed cosmetologists. To prove that that's there is the address. They send out somebody to inspect it and they approve it, and there you go. Real simple. Real simple. Real simple. I know in Columbia County, they have to come out and inspect your home. If you have a home-based business, I think so, if I'm not mistaken from person I talked to. I'm not sure in Richmond County, but I do know you need a business license to run a business. And most people that have running businesses out their home, they don't have business license. They just run a business. So, yeah.
Well, let me say this about Columbia County, Tara. They did not come out and inspect. But what they did do is they pulled the records on your square footage and everything of your home.
Okay.
And that plays a big part in the taxes, but you have so many write-offs. Another thing I want to share right quick, and this might be a whole nother show, but I want to share this. The best thing we can give our kids is credit, to start off with good credit instead of having such a hard time building credit. Because as we know,
Yes,
no credit is like bad credit. If you have a business, make your child an employee. Most of the time we spending money on our children or anything. Write those children a check out of your business checking account. So when they turn 18, they have a substantial income or whatnot, and they're ahead of the game as far as credit wise. So
say
that's
that
another.
again, please, 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 please. Please say that again. Please say that, because if I had known that when my children are grown now, but I promise you, I got a grandbaby coming up. When she's able to work, she's gonna be an employee at one of my businesses, and I'm gonna write her a check. Okay, you want something? You want, this is how much you're gonna get paid, so they can be established again. Yes, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna share the whole thing. If you are a business owner, help your children. This is something we need to know for a leg up. I'm like you. If I had known, I would have done it. Make your children an employee. Write them a check from your business account. Don't just hand them an allowance or whatnot. Make them an employee. Write them a payroll check out of your business account, because what you're doing is you're helping them establish an income, which is going to help them credit wise. We could do a whole nother show on this, because if you really want to help them, make them a co-owner of your business or start a business for them. Now, we really, that will really help our children and give them a leg up at the beginning of life. Instead of most of us, we work in the reverse. We're waiting on someone to pass to get that lump sum of money to have a start in life. Well, now people are living longer.
Yes.
So if you really want to give your child a gift, make them an employee, or better yet, make them a co-owner or start a business for them in their name.
Yes, yes. Start them a business. It's so many kids that are talented, that are smart. They have business ideas. Start them up. You don't have to be an adult to start a business. I saw a young lady, I think she's 12. She has a lip gloss business. Start your kids. Start them off early. Start them off early. We're not taught. We coming up last. We coming up. A lot of times we have been taught things, but when you get information, you need to run with it. You need to run with it. Because just like Melody said, you want to start them young, so that when they become of age, they're already ahead of the game. They already have a business. They're already established. They have good credit, so they can go out and increase and replicate what you're doing. Because the word of God says this: have 7 to 8 lines of income. You need 7 to 8 streams of income. So when 1 or 2 fall down, you have some other ones that's going to sustain you or keep you in the overflow. So we need to be wise about how we think about money, how we think about things that are happening, to not just have one income. It does not work. It does not work, because what if you lose your job? What if you lose your job? What other means of income do you have? I saw so many, and shouts out to my fellow cosmetologists and beauty and barber people in the beauty barber business, nail business. I saw that they were being creative. It didn't stop them. They start selling wig units. Okay, I'm selling products. And those are things that you have to do. Sell products, retail, because these are things that people are going to still buy. Don't send them to the store. Sell your weeks. And I saw that and I was like, yes, you have to be creative, because if you're not creative, what if we don't have the government to fall back on? What if we don't have a parent or a friend to fall back on? What if you had a bit of savings, a substantial amount of savings, and something happened and you got sick and you went through 80% of that money and a pandemic hits? What happens then? And you have no other income to come in. So we have to be mindful of those things, because we say, oh, God got me. God give you wisdom and give you understanding. And half the times when we say God got us, we don't even follow the principle. That's just something to say. It sounds good. Because his word says actually 7 or 8 streams of income. It's a reason he says that. It's a reason for that. You need more than one line of income. Because when something hits, you got some more income coming in. It's just not in there just because it sounds good as a scripture. It's a reason he said that. And we need to take heed of that. Oh, I'm going to pray. I'm going to say it, and I might make some of y'all mad. Because most of the people on my page, y'all say y'all Christians and y'all love the Lord. And the only thing I saw was TikTok. Y'all weren't praying. I saw more TikTok videos, and I'm like, wait a minute. I saw more TikTok than anything else. I said, well, look at this. Y'all eating and TikTok. My God got me. No. You still got a little income coming in, or your husband or your wife got some income coming in, and or you waiting on that stimulus check, and that's why God got me. No, we need to do better. We need to do better, because that's not God. That's somebody else you depending on.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because let me say this, Tara. Now, I'm one of the ones, I'm still working, but I am working from home. And I saw when someone had made a post earlier about something to the effect of the ones that still have income are different than those that are not working. True, we are a little different. But let me say this. I'm feeling the pandemic, because let me tell you this. I went to work one day and basically was given 24 hours to go home and work. Now, I'm a single person, the only income in my house. But usually when I leave out and I go to their office, all my stuff turned off in my house. So now being home, and I'm still paying my bills. My light bill has increased because I'm here all day now. And I got to have the lights on and whatnot. I got computers and stuff plugged up. I didn't have internet at my home. I was using my hotspots for my internet. Now I had to go out and get internet. And and I'm sitting here and I'm eating all day long. I'm one of those that's eating. So I'm spending more money in the grocery stores than I know. So I'm feeling it that way. Whereas, it's affecting my income because I'm spending more. My utilities are going up. I got extra bills that's related to work that I've got to have. And my grocery bill is going up because I'm home more and I'm eating more because I'm here versus being on the go all the time. So we all are feeling it somewhere. And I know we're saying that we've got to prepare better. And a lot of people may be, well, I'm not able to start a savings account right now because of the situation, or, I'm not able to go out and make this purchase to do this right now. But my only thing is, first take care of your necessity, but start somewhere. I mean, I'm one of those people, if it ain't but $5 a week, if it ain't but $10 a week, because it all adds up. Start somewhere.
Yes.
Because what you're doing is you're retraining yourself.
Yeah, I would suggest this. Most people,
as to how you have a relationship. $5 a week, putting it aside could be a difference.
Yeah, most people spend anywhere from $30 to $100 a week eating out.
Mm-hmm.
If you just take one meal, start off, just take one day and don't eat out and save that money. Do that one day a week. You will see that in a month, 2 months time, how if you they buy lunch and they buy dinner. So if you just take one meal a day, you'll be surprised how much money you'll save. And things cheaper then. Hair, cosmetologist, I was eating for breakfast, eating out. One week I added up and I was like, now this was like 93, 92, 93. And I had spent like $70 a week just eating out. And people say, oh, that wasn't a lot. Back then it was a lot of money. I was like, wait a minute. And so I decided, look, I started not eating out. I start saving that money. And you'll be surprised how much money you save from just cutting out small things, because it's not the big things that cause us to not have money. It's those nickel and dimes. I think we're trying to freeze up a little bit, Melody.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, before we go, because we've been talking for a minute now. Let's talk about this opening up the state, because we have a lot of mixed emotions about them opening up the restaurants. You mentioned that, the salons, the movie theaters, the restaurants, and a few other things, the bowling alleys. What's your thoughts on them opening it up too soon? Because a lot of people say, oh, they're trying to kill us. Well, look, they've been doing that anyway. They're gonna depopulate. Not just America, the world. That's gonna happen. So, but that's another talk therapy.
Well, I have really, we've been talking about, I have real mixed emotions on the whole thing. Like I said, my biggest thing is your bowling alleys, your restaurants, because I do know those are going to be places that people are going to really flock to really fast, because we have been in quarantine for that month. The kids haven't been able to get out and go places. Parents haven't been able to get out and go different places. So I know those are going to be places where people are going to flock to in large numbers of crowds. And that makes me a little nervous about that. And I guess I'm a little nervous about it is because I listened to Governor Kemp on yesterday, and I'm a body language person. I watch people's body language and whatnot. And one thing I did realize that dawned on me really, really fast in the midst of his speech is I felt like it wasn't him, and this is my personal opinion, because I noticed he had to read his entire speech. And I guess I noticed it because I've taken so many speech classes or whatnot. And you at some point supposed to make a long eye contact with your audience. And if you go back and you look at it, he did not do that. And that to me signals he was not really familiar or in agreement or totally knowledgeable about what he was given to present. My second thing with it that brought some concern, because I think I'm the type of person, don't sell me something that you ain't supporting yourself.
Right.
Then the next thing, I listened to Atlanta's Mayor Keisha, and I also listened to Augusta Mayor Harvey Davis, and both of those had a common denominator that they both said. They both said that they have a very good relationship with Governor Kemp. They were both shocked at what was delivered on yesterday. They both said publicly that they had not spoken to him before that was delivered yesterday. And as we know, Atlanta is the largest city, and then Augusta is right behind it. And I felt like, okay, so if they had not spoken with him and they publicly said that they have close relationship, I'm a little leery about it. And then also, we get to looking at the numbers on things. I'm a little nervous. I think it's a little soon for things. Hair and beauty, most people are posting their guidelines, which I think is really good, and they're safe guidelines. But my main, because how much really social distancing can we do in those places, those establishments?
And what I would say this, what's the responsibility of the consumer? Because just because that they opened up the state doesn't mean you have to go.
Yeah, you don't have to go.
You don't have to go. You can choose to stay at home. You don't have to. If you're not comfortable, stay at home. That's all you do. Stay at home. You don't have to go. Those places you do not have to go. You don't have to go. And then, if you feel like, hey, it's too many people here, or, this is unsafe, just stay home. We have the freedom of choice. We still have the freedom of choice. You do not have to attend. You don't have to go to the movies. You don't have to go to the beach. You don't have to go to those restaurants. Stay home. Just stay home. Because we
go
have to take
out,
responsibility for ourselves. Huh?
Yeah. If you go out, still use your mask. Still have your hand sanitizer.
Yes. Someone asked me about my salon.
I don't think we need to just go out all willy-nilly,
Right. And definitely, I don't think so either. I think that this is going to be our new normal. This is going to be our new normal, because I had people say, when you open your salon back up, what's going to be the regulations? Well, it's going to be the same thing we did before they shut down, because I had already put something in place, and we're going to reinforce it. So that means that I add on there. So that means that, says check the connection. Something's use a different speaker. Something's not working here. It means that, hold on.
You're still up with me.
I said that means that, your wait times, your appointment times, that means you need to be there on time, because for me personally, and the people that's in my salon, we're only going to allow so many people in the entire salon at one time, between a set service span. That's going to give us time to keep people spaced out and to clean, sanitize between each client. So that's going to cause us to have to, do more work. So you need time for that. You need time for that. So overbooking and, come in with the mask. I said, make sure you tell your clients they need to wear a mask. If they're sick, don't come in the salon. When we open it back up, don't come in. Make sure you have a mask on. We're wearing masks. But I said this before, and I said it again. We've always worked in hazardous conditions because we work directly with the community, just like the hospitals. We work in hazardous, being in the beauty barber business now, you work in hazardous conditions. And I say this, Psalms 91, I decreed and declared every day over my life. I decree, and Lord, what I need, however, and I keep my immune system up, because you never know. Before this pandemic hit the way that it hit, I said to myself, how many people that I came in contact with that already were COVID-19 positive or had something else that I could have possibly gotten, because we're just that close with, working with people, whether it's shampooing over them. Yeah, you curling from the back, or barbers, but you still are face to face with them. So we just have to use wisdom. We have to use wisdom. Before COVID, before this pandemic, you would go in the grocery store and they had the wipes already out there for your buggies. How many people use those wipes?
Not many.
Not many. They already had this stuff in place, but not many people used it. So it's gonna make us change the way we think. You need to be wiping down, because guess what? You could have got some type of disease or bacteria before, but grace of God, you didn't.
I'm glad you said that, Tara. And I'm gonna say this because I'm a former nail tech. Mm-hmm. and I'm gonna say, that's really tricky when we go. Be mindful of the nail techs that you're going to and the nail salons that you're going to, because sanitation is always been prevalent. But now you need to really, really be careful, because the instruments that they use, you need to make sure that they are really sanitizing those instruments in between service. And I'm gonna say this as a former nail tech. I believe when you go to a nail salon, don't pick a color from, and I may have some nail techs that might be mad with me, but I'm gonna say this because if I do go into a nail salon, this is something that I practice for myself and have been practicing for a few years. Don't pick a color off that wall. Take you a brand new bottle of nail polish in with you. What can nail polish harder? Because that's nail polish they're putting on some every client. Make sure that they're using clean files. Even if you go a clean stick to put your wax on. And a lot of people may say, well, that's a little extreme, blah, blah. But I think it's really necessary, because these are things that were concerns of mine when I was a nail tech. Make sure that they're cleaning that bowl. They clean it out with something that is really clean, germs. Mm-hmm. Because you have to be careful. We got some of the things that we were a little laxed about in the past. Yes. I think we're gonna have to really amp it up and be careful. There are, just like I would say this, and I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way. We had people at the tax. Sometimes you got to be mindful of where you're going. Not saying all tax, but find you a good, reputable, I can't even say the word, tax person. Find you a good nail tech. I know plenty nail techs within our community, mm-hmm. and they really are educated on it. Blowing it out the water. Find people that provide good services, yes. and that are knowledgeable and are concerned about you. I may make some folks mad with that, but I'm just saying, that's those are things.
If you can't afford it, don't wear them. Go to somebody that's going to keep, because I've seen people that they have a fungus on their nails, and their nails have been destroyed because they shop hop, nail hop, and because they want to look good. Look good can cost you your life. Mm-hmm. You better get somebody that's knowledgeable, that's safe, that's clean, and that knows what they're doing. Stop going to these, because you want to look good. You better go to somebody that know it, and that's professional, that's licensed, and that's knowledgeable. Let me say that.
Yeah. That's licensed.
That's licensed. Let's say that's licensed and knowledgeable.
Yeah.
That's licensed and knowledgeable. That's licensed and knowledgeable. Say that again.
Licensed and knowledgeable.
Yes. All right, you guys. We have been on. Man, we have been on way past our time tonight, but we have already said that this is going to be a 2 or 3 part series, because we have so much more information, so many more topics we need to talk about related to this pandemic and the things that's going to unfold in the next few weeks with the state opening up. So we thank you guys for sharing, commenting with us tonight. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, because this is going to be uploaded on YouTube. We usually go live on YouTube, but we, last couple of weeks we'll be here on my page. Make sure you go to my business page, Tara T. Stallings Inc., and like it, and go to Inspired by Melody. Tell me your page. Inspired by Melody.
It's Inspired by Melody M. And let me say this: if you are in a place and you need help or the how to accomplish someone, reach out to Tara or myself, because we're both life coaches. Yes. And we can help you with that. That's what we're here for. And most of the time we don't usually plug ourselves right on the talk show, but we're at a time where we have to understand that we're responsible for ourselves, I believe. Yes. And we're going to have a new way of life. But I'm happy that you all tuned in, because it looked like we had a lot of people tuning in tonight. Yeah. We're going to continue to talk about finances, because we just touched the tip of it. Yes. It's a lot of other things that we need to cover as to how we can take care of ourselves individually. But that's it. I'm good for the night, Tara.
All right, you guys. We thank you for joining us. Have a good week. Be safe, be mindful, be prayerful, and use wisdom.
Y'all have a good one.
Good night.